want to cry on camera. BRB. Hello, welcome back. This is going to be a bookish vlog, and I am really excited about that because books are my favorite thing. I have not been to the public library in forever, and I have a really great public library near me, so that is what we're gonna do first. I want to just wander the rows and rows of books, take in the scent of old books, which is the best scent ever, and see what I am feeling inspired by. I don't really have anything specific that I'm looking for there. I just love wandering the shelves. And I also need to set up my kobo. I still haven't done that, and I am really looking forward to using it. So we're gonna set that up and load some books on there. I need to get these bookshelves ready to be organized. So we're gonna do a little unhaul and go to the local used bookstore to drop those books off and see if there's anything new that wants to come home with me. I would love if I could finish the 2 fiction books I'm reading this week as well. They are both great, so I already have a feeling April is going to be a very good book month for me. First, we're gonna just go get a matcha and then walk on over to the public library though. I met my mom and she's found a crochet book already. She's so happy. I've never read anything by Emily Austen, but I have always been curious and thought that I might like her. After reading her memoir, I really want to read Cat's Eye, but I feel like this might be one that I would want to highlight and reference, so I don't know if it's a library book. I also want to read a book by this author at some point soon, but I don't know which one. Some books, all ones that were by authors I'm interested in, but not ones that I had specifically heard of before. So we're very excited about that. And now I've made it to the cookbook section. Has all her books. Okay, we are back from the library, and that was such a successful trip. I got way more than I intended, but when I was there, I learned that the books will auto-renew up to 5 times as long as no one else places a hold for the book online. So I can have these for almost 4 months, so I got a lot. But I also got ones that were not super popular, so I figured I would read those later, and then I think I got 2 that were more new releases, so I need to read those first because someone might check those out. They only had a really small section called the Lucky Day section, and those are their most in-demand items. Those you do have to return no matter what at the 3-week mark, but I did not get any Lucky Day items, so I have a nice long time with my books. They had such a good selection too, and it was really nice going in without a plan because I had a lot of fun wandering the aisle, and I think it became very clear to me what I was feeling drawn to learn more about. I also wasn't expecting to get as many nonfiction picks as I did. I thought I would get more fiction because I do like to own my nonfiction books a lot of the time because they're the ones that I'll return to or reference, but I thought it would be good to make sure I like them because I found so many that I was interested in, and if I really, really love it, then I can always buy it later, and if not, this will be a good way to make sure it's something I want to invest in. The fiction one I got though was When the Cranes Fly South because my sister's best friend read, I think, the dogs are playing. She read over 100 books last year and said this was her favorite, but I have been reluctant to read it because I definitely think it is going to make me cry. So we'll make sure I feel like I am in a very good headspace when I read this. I think it's going to be so sad because it says that it is about Beau, who has a home care team and feels like he's running out of time. He has a rocky relationship with his son, and his son is insisting on taking his dog away because he thinks Beau has grown too old to properly care for him. And the thought of losing his dog stirs up a whirlwind of emotion, leading Beau to take stock of his life, his relationships, and the imperfect way he's expressed his love over the years. I think this is going to be really heartfelt and very human, and I just don't know if I want to cry right now, but I really do want to read this. I think it'll be really, really good. I'll try to go through the other ones I got a little bit quicker because I feel like they're kind of niche interest books, maybe. Like, I don't know if everyone will be as into them. And the other book that I got from the news section was one that I had debated buying but couldn't decide, and it is by the author of The Vegetarian, and it is the first published piece in English of nonfiction from them, and it is called Light and Thread. She was the winner of the Nobel Prize in Literature, and it is a book of reflections, essays, poems, photographs, and diary entries. I really loved, there was an excerpt from her speech from when she won the Nobel Prize, and that is what convinced me that I wanted to check this one out, and I want to read the passage because I thought it was so beautiful and so lovely. But there's also just pieces like this in the book that are really short, everyday diary entries. And the part from the speech was, ever since I was a child, I have wanted to know the reason we are born, the reason suffering and love exist. These questions have been asked by literature for thousands of years and continue to be asked today. What is the meaning of our brief stay in this world? How difficult is it for us to remain human come what may? In the darkest night, there is language that asks what we are made of, that insists on imagining into the first-person perspectives of the people and living beings that inhabit this planet. Language that connects us to one another. Literature that deals in this language inevitably holds a kind of body heat. Just as inevitably, the work of reading and writing literature stands in opposition to all acts that destroy life. I would like to share the meaning of this award, which is for literature, with you, standing here in opposition to violence together. I'm excited to see what this is about. I've also not read The Vegetarian, even though I've thought about reading The Vegetarian many times. I think I feel like it's a little bit daunting. Like, will I be able to understand all of the themes? Will I need space to really explore what the novel is saying? So, I don't know, I'm excited to start here. Oh shoot, I did get 3 books from the new section. I forgot. This one came out, I guess, in November because it tells me 11/25, but it is The Land of Sweet Forever, Stories and Essays from Harper Lee. So I feel like I have a theme going on right now of just wanting to read more and learn more from the great authors. This is from the author of To Kill a Mockingbird, and this combines the short fiction written early in her career and her later nonfiction. And they take you from the Alabama schoolyards of Lee's youth to the luncheonettes and movie houses of mid-century Manhattan, offering Lee's reflections on a wide range of themes from the responsible teaching of children to a delightful account of star Gregory Peck and the film set of To Kill a Mockingbird. I thought that looked good too. So those were my 3 new books that I should probably read first because they are probably most likely to have to go back first. And then this is like my random hodgepodge. I feel like I'm talking way too much, so I will try to be brief. I'm really bad at being brief though. I got this from Ursula K. Le Guin on The Wave in the Mind, Talks and Essays on the Writer, the Reader, and Imagination, and Susan Sontag, Where the Stress Falls. I have been watching more video essays lately, and a lot of the ones that I keep randomly clicking on will talk about Susan Sontag, so that is why this one called to me. Remembrance, Selected Correspondence from Ray Bradbury, and there were excerpts of the letters that are featured in the book. It is a lifetime of all of the letters that he was writing in his life, and I really liked this one that he wrote to Russell Kirk in 1967. It says, "On life, above all, at heart, the thing that drives me most often is an immense gratitude that I was given this one chance to live, to be alive the one time round in a miraculous experience that never ceases to be glorious and dismaying. I accept the whole damn thing. It is neither all beautiful nor all terrible, but a wash of multitudinous I said it right. But a wash of multitudinous despairs and exhilarations about which we know nothing. Our history is so small, our experience so limited, our science so inadequate, our theologies crammed into mere matchboxes, that we know we stand on the outer edge of a beginning and our greatest history lies before us, frightening and lovely, much darkness and much light." So once I read I think there's 6 letters on the back, I was sold. It is a bigger book though, so hopefully no one else checks this out. If you also belong to my local library, give me a little bit. No, I'm just joking, but kind of, not really. I don't think I'll finish that super soon. And then I got Joan Didion, Notes to John. I didn't know something like this had been published, but one of the book reviews that I was reading about this was like, oh, this felt really personal. Like, I don't know if I should have read this. So this is about, in November 1999, Joan Didion began seeing a psychiatrist because, as she wrote to a friend, her family had had a rough few years, and she described the sessions in a journal she created for her husband, John Gregory Dunn. So I think this is going to be very intimate and very personal, and I love Joan Didion's writing, but I wasn't aware of this. It was just on the shelf along with all of these other author books. And there's 2 more that I got. Anne Dillard, The Abundance, and this is narrative essays, old and new. So I wanted to read that. And the last one I got was The Art of Slow Writing. I don't know why I got this. It seemed really interesting when I was flipping open 2 pages, and that is so funny because I flipped open to the same exact page when I was in the store, but it was talking about how Virginia Woolf wrote some of her novels, and I found that section really interesting, which then made me think I wanted to read this. And, you know, I am a very slow-moving person, and so The Art of Slow Writing was just really calling to me because we know I would not be about fast writing. Well, and that is all of the books that I got. But I am really excited and really interested in all of them, and I feel like maybe that's kind of like the spring curriculum I have set for me now. That will get me from now until summer, and then we will head back to the public library in a few months. Tomorrow, I need to set up my kobo and get back to reading the fiction books that I am reading right now too. I just discovered that yesterday when I was at the library that there was a Friends of the Library bookstore there, and I didn't even go in there, but I think it's safe to say I probably don't need more books, especially if I'm going to go to the used bookstore later this week. But next library trip we go on, we're gonna have to go check it out. Now I have my kobo stuff in here, and we are going to set up the kobo. So I also have the clicker for hands-free, I guess. Yeah, that's the word. And a stylus, which I'm really excited about because this one seems like it is a lot better for note-taking and annotating than the Kindle. So I think that I'll really want the stylus, but I don't know if you could see that there. That is their example. And then I have this case, and this was all from a PR package, and I'm really embarrassed that I have not set this up yet, but it's because I kept saying I wanted to set it up in a video, and then I kept not having a video to put it in or running out of time. So it's not that I'm not very excited about this. I was just not managing my time well. I don't know how you open this. I can't decide if I should open it like this or if we should do like an overhead opening. Maybe we'll open it like that and then I'll come back. I set up my Kobo account and now it's waiting for me to finish setting that up. You can skip this step, but it will create a wish list for you and learn your preferences on books if you do this. So it's showing me books and then asking me if they seem interesting to me or not. I thought this would be fun to do it together. First is Strangers. I'm gonna say, well, we'll add it to my wish list, so I'm going to say no. Ooh, an Ursula K. Le Guin book, The Dispossessed. I'm going to say yes to that because I actually got a book by her at the library yesterday. Pachinko, I have been wanting to read this one. Yes. The Prize, The Epic Quest for Oil, Money, and Power. I'm going to say no. The Princess Bride. I've never read that, but I don't think so. We Who Will Die. Sure. I think that's a fantasy or a romantasy. Oh, okay. Well, that was enough for it to generate my recommendations now. That was fun. Okay, so that's nice because now I think on my Kobo 2, I'll have a few more recommendations all set up for me. Okay, and I have a Kobo Plus account you can sign up for. I don't know if I should do that. If you have a Kobo, let me know if you like Kobo Plus. I'm guessing it's very similar to the Kindle Unlimited type of thing, but I can do a free trial, so I'll do the free trial for now. Gigi is sassing me from the ground. I scanned my gift card to pick a book or two to put on the Kobo, but I don't know what to pick. And then I thought we could open these together too. My little clicker. Okay, we are pairing the remote. It is connected. I will say I'm really liking the size of this, how, I don't know, if the more square and having the buttons here is feeling more like a book or something. I'm not sure. That could be in my head. I think that I will like that. Okay, that's done. Oh, if I want a little wrist strap for my remote, let's do the stylus. It comes with an extra tip for the pen. Oh, this seems so lovely. This works as an eraser, the top part. You can click it and turn on highlighter mode. It's pretty cool. To wake it up, I have to pair it to a power outlet first. So let me do that. Okay, it is connecting and charging, and now we're gonna put this case on. Oh, that snaps in really easily. It's so cute. I think this acts as a stand too, if I had to guess. It does. Oh, you can't see that. But it then acts as a stand too, if you want to prop it up. I have to pick what book I want to download now. I'm kind of drawn to doing that Ursula K. Le Guin one since it was suggested to me. Oh my god, it's only $1.99. Pachinko is only $1.99 too right now. They're both on sale. Ooh, or Dawn by Octavia Butler. That is also for $1.99. Okay, I need to look on Goodreads. I'll report right back. Okay, we're gonna do Dispossessed. We are buying it. Okay, I got 5 books. They were all $1.99, and I got the first 3 I mentioned, and then I added The Martian Chronicles by Ray Bradbury since at the library yesterday I got a nonfiction book with all of his letters. I thought adding a fiction book would be nice, and this one is a science fiction book about humans being on Mars. And then I also added Rebecca because I got this novel when I was in Palm Desert last month, and I have a physical copy, but I really do read a lot on my Kindle, and a lot of times I like having both, so since it was $1.99, I thought that that would help me read that novel a little bit more quickly. And now I want to see what the note-taking process is like. Because one reason I like having the physical books is because I do really like highlighting and taking notes if it's more of a classic like Rebecca would be, but based on how this looks, looked. I think I might like annotating on here. I'm just gonna open up that one. The color is really good on this. I don't know if you can tell as much on screen, but it has really good color. The turn page? I am liking the buttons to turn pages. I can just draw on this. That's so cool. Okay, let me change the camera so I can show. We have our afternoon beverage and our novel, and it is time to read. This is my current, or I think I've talked about it before, so this is still my favorite dirty soda combination, the Chobani Sweet Cream and a Poppy Shirley Temple. It is so delicious, and we just got a nugget ice maker, so I feel like it is taking our at-home dirty soda making to the next level. Delicious. I should probably get a coaster, because that is where I put my drinks when I sit here. Okay, and the novel that I am reading right now, I am halfway through, and I'm probably the only person that didn't read this last year, I feel like. I thought surely this book was overhyped. It is not. I feel like everyone is going to have been right about this. I was kind of disappointed by some of the really hyped up books I read last year, which is why I think I had low expectations for this. And I've only read one other Taylor Jenkins Reid book, which was The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I loved it, but then I tried to read Daisy Jones and the Six, and this was like 5 years ago, and I couldn't get into it. I think me now would be able to get into it, and I'm thinking I need to just add all of her books to my TBR now because this is so incredible. I was also worried because it said a love story, but I feel like this is a love story with depth, not like a very light rom-com, and I'm loving how it is about space. If you don't know what it's about one of the first female astronauts that goes to space, and it's a fictional story. It really grips you in the beginning because it starts with the present day where there is a big issue going on with a trip to space, and so you hear about the characters in present day, but then you're getting to flash back to earlier when they were in the training program and learning about the relationships that they all formed there while knowing that this terrible thing is going on in present day. And it also deals a lot with the gender discrimination and discrimination around sexuality that people would have been experiencing in the 80s. That has been really powerful, but it's still such an entertaining story. So this is definitely hitting that mark of entertainment, but depth that I really like. It's been a fast read. I think in March I was in a bit of a book slump, but the two books I'm reading right now, they're both so good. Kind of don't want this one to be over, but then I'm happy because there's so many books by Taylor Jenkins Reid that I haven't read yet. If you have read more of her books, let me know which one I should do after this. But now I get to read. I don't know if I just made sense there. I felt very excited when I was talking about the book and like I was kind of bouncing all over, so hopefully I did the plot justice. And the author of Project Hail Mary has a quote on the back. NASA Space Missions, the 1980s. This is a collection of all the things I love. Great story, excellent research and accuracy, and a thrilling conclusion. So there's a shorter blurb if I was not making sense. I didn't get a coaster, but now I'm comfortable. It will be okay. I also have this on Libby, so I was reading it on my Kindle when I was in bed last night, so I figure out where I am on the physical copy. I was at a big part in the love story, and I was really tired when I was reading last night, so I decided I had to pause because there was this really beautiful declaration of love, and I was not appreciating it, so it's like, we need to come back to this tomorrow. It's such a roller coaster though, because when you're in the past, you're like, oh my God, like the love story, and it's so happy, at least this point is, and then they flash you back to the present and you're like, oh no, everything's terrible. Hello, I'm at Beachtown Books and I'm going to drop some of my books off so I can get store credit. I am going to organize my home library soon before we redo that room. So I am trying to get rid of any of the books that I don't think that I'll want anymore. So everything will be easier when we do that big organization project. And I thought I would show you which ones I am unhauling today. I kind of feel bad when I do an unhaul because these books might be for someone. They just aren't for me. I have recently decided I don't think that I love cozy holiday romances, and I tried to start the X-Hex series before and just was not into it. I have both books here. So I decided I think I'm just going to part ways with these. Every time fall comes around, I think I'm going to read them, and I have not. So it is time. I accidentally have 2 copies of this book, Wayward, so I'm just getting rid of one of the copies. That was an accident. And then this I used to have in my office. I had little decor books in there, but this wouldn't match the new vibe of my office. So that is going away, and this table book too was from my old office, but wouldn't really match the new vibe, and I don't feel like I'm as into luxury designer stuff as much anymore, so it just didn't feel like it resonated with me as much. Then I bought this rom-com book last summer, and after reading some of the reviews, I decided I probably wouldn't like it. I bought it when it was brand new and should have definitely waited to buy it. Oh, and then I forgot one more is The Arcana Academy. I read this one last year. I liked it, but I've been reading a little bit less romantasy, so I don't know that I'll end up reading book 2 when it comes out this year, and it's a pretty big book. There are other romantasy series that would be higher on my list to finish, so thought this one could find a new home. If you love romantasy, I feel like this would be worth reading, but if you only read a few romantases a year, then maybe it would be skippable. I just liked that it had a big theme of the tarot in it. That's what the world was built on, so that part was cool, but I don't know if it was cool enough for book 2. It might be like a Kindle book if I do book 2. And now it is time to go see what new things they have at the used bookstore, because I do have a lot of store credit there that I could put to use. I am also meeting my mom here to do a little bit of book shopping with her, so that will be fun. I found 2 books so far. First is Olive Kitteridge. I read an Elizabeth Strout novel last year, and this was the next one that I wanted to read by her because Olive was a character in the book. And then I also have Homegoing, which has been on my list for quite a while. I have two new books I'm debating. I have a George Eliot book and Secret Life of the Bees. I can't decide. Or Tender as the Night. There's a lot of stuff over here. Hello, I thought we could do a haul of what I got yesterday at Beachtown Books because it was so quiet in there. Normally they have music playing and it does not feel like you're in a library, but for whatever reason, they didn't have music on, and so I was feeling very weird talking even though there were other customers talking amongst themselves. It was not the right vibe for a full-on book shopping video, which is why we're going to talk a little bit more about the books now that we are back home. I did talk about a few though, and then I was like, no, it's way too quiet. We're just gonna wait till we get back. And I did find a lot there, actually. I feel like more than I have found in my recent trips. I love it so much that it's a used bookstore because you never know what you're gonna find. Two things I didn't get before I go through the haul of what I got is they had Euphoria by Lily King, and I really wanted that one because I own the rest of her books, but the copy was very beat up and I couldn't decide if I would be happy with that because I think that's a book I'm going to really love and that I'm going to want to hold on to, so I didn't get it. And they had 4 copies of The House on Mango Street, and I was not required to read that when I was younger, but I know a lot of people were, and in How to Read a Book by Monica Wood, she referenced that book a few times. I have heard that if you go back and read it as an adult, which I didn't even read it as a child, but you would have a whole new appreciation for it, and it can really be enjoyed young or as you get older. So I want to read that. It's a classic. All of the copies they had though, it was really cute. You could tell that they were copies that people had used in school because they were doodled all over and had so many notes in them. So I didn't think that I could get those. Okay, now for the ones that I did get. Where to start? Well, I showed these two in the video, and I did mention that I wanted to read this one because I've read an Elizabeth Strout novel last year. I don't think I fully appreciated it because I had not read any of her previous novels. The one I read was connected to this one. Olive was one of the main characters in the book that I read. I loved Elizabeth Strout's writing style. It felt very real and human, and it wasn't something where the plot was very crazy, but the characters all had a lot of depth. And I think, yeah, this is a winner of the Pulitzer Prize. So I wanted to go back in time and start with one of the ones that made her very well known. And then I got Homegoing, which has been on my TBR for a long time. I'm going to read the Google description of it if you haven't heard of it, because I was trying to think about how I would describe this book and I was coming up short. So it is a debut. It traces the descendants of 2 half-sisters in 18th century Ghana, whose lives diverged dramatically due to the slave trade, with one marrying a colonist and the other being sold into slavery in America. The book follows their parallel family lines through 8 generations, exploring the legacy of slavery, colonialism, and the African diaspora across continents and centuries, from Ghana to the American South, Harlem, and beyond. I know this is a really powerful book. It has incredibly high ratings on Goodreads. I've heard very good things about it, so I had to grab that. This was the very last book I found in there. It's called Steal Like an Artist. I have debated buying this so many times, but the title always kind of turned me off from it. But after I read more about what it is saying, I thought, okay, it's not actually saying to steal from people, and it's really small. It's about unlocking your creativity. I started reading it, I got this far, but I love that it's actually going to be a very quick and easy read. And I loved this sentence in the beginning, or paragraph. Always be reading. Go to the library. There's magic in being surrounded by books. Get lost in the stacks. Read bibliographies. It's not the book you start with, it's the book that book leads you to. Collect books, even if you don't plan on reading them right away. Nothing is more important than an unread library. Don't worry about doing research, just search. And I thought, thank you for allowing my book buying addiction. Nothing is more important than my unread library. Another interesting thing, and I'm not even that far in it, but that it talked about that I really liked that I noticed I was doing naturally, is to be conscious of what you're consuming, what books, what movies, what television shows you're taking in, because that's where you're going to gain your inspiration from, and that's going to come out in your creativity. And I think over the last year, I've gotten a lot more intentional about what books that I want to be reading. He was talking about going on these deep dives, and I actually found myself doing that before I'd read this book, but talking about how if you have a favorite author, figure out who their favorite authors were and who their favorite authors were, and kind of like build this tree for yourself where you really get into where your favorites would have drawn their inspiration from. And when I was reading Lily King's books, I did find myself Googling interviews that she had done, trying to figure out what books she liked to read. And same with when I was reading Margaret Atwood's memoir, I was making a list of all of the books that she referenced in here that were her favorites. So I felt like this was seeming very aligned with the place that I'm at in my life right now. And I'm really excited that I finally decided to pick it up because it has sat in my Amazon cart for a very long time and I didn't have to buy it from Amazon. Okay, moving on. I got Patti Smith, The Year of the Monkey. I have Just Kids by her, which I have started but haven't finished. And I am just really fascinated with her, and I thought that I would really like this. It just also had a really cute monkey and picture on the background. So yeah, that's my reason. And then I got a C.S. Lewis book. I have not read his novels since I was a kid. I loved The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe series when I was young, and I know he has an adaptation this year, I think, of The Magician's Nephew, so I had been debating revisiting that, but I saw this, and this is an adult book. It is a masterpiece of satire on hell's latest novelties and heaven's unanswerable answer, and it seems philosophical, but also witty and funny and smart, so I thought that I would enjoy it. And the last one I got was a George Eliot novel, because I think, as I have been doing these deep dives on who my favorite authors are and reading more about authors, this is a name that frequently comes up. George Eliot was a very famous woman author who used a male pen name, and she was known for very psychological and real novels, which are ones that I like. So I would really like to read this one, and Middlemarch is the other one that is on my list too. But before I can start those, I need to finish the 2 books that I am in the middle of. My goal was to finish them this week, so we are gonna see if we can do that. I probably have 15 pages left in this book, and I was literally just sobbing from the ending and thought, oh, I should get the camera out and film my reaction to me finishing this. But I will be honest, I'm glad that I was not filming before during the really emotional part, because there were a lot of tears. I was on my Kindle because I was in bed, so I need to figure out where I am in the physical book now. Okay, yes, this is where we are, and it's just getting so good. It's been so good. This has been a very good book. Oh, this is just a lot. I'm teary-eyed again. I'm gonna start sobbing. I do not want to cry on camera. BRB. Oh, hi, buddy. I don't feel like I can say more without spoiling the ending, but I highly, highly recommend this one. And now I will give myself a moment. Do you like reading days? Now that I've finished Atmosphere and I've collected myself, I am moving on to the second book I want to finish this week, and that is Discipline. I've talked about this one before, but the writing is beautiful. It is a debut, and so far it's very introspective. I feel like I am really inside the main character's brain, and it is so far about her being on a book tour for a novel she wrote about an affair she had with one of her professors 10 years prior. And right now you're getting really intimate conversations that she's having with strangers or former relationships. And I know eventually, based on the plot description, the former professor reaches out to her and she reconnects with him. Thus far, it has not been very plot driven, but I don't always like a heavy plot driven novel. So I'm really enjoying this one, and I think I'll be able to probably not finish it by the end of this video because I think I need to get all of the footage done so it can be edited in time to be posted. But I will finish this by this weekend, and then next week, I think I have so many books that I'm wanting to read right now that I want to do either a readathon or a reading vlog. So if you have any specific book content ideas you would like to see me do, let me know. Otherwise, I'm feeling like it could be a good time for a readathon. And now I'm gonna get back to Discipline.